Do you ever procrastinate? Do you sometimes put off things that are very important that can improve your life? Do you always put them off? And you use the words like, I'll do it later, oh, I'll wait and maybe give it some minute, I'll come back to it. We all at some point in our lives are faced with times where we have procrastinated things that are very important, and sometimes we tend to blame ourselves and say, oh, why am I lazy, or why am I not disciplined. Or maybe we maybe you compare yourself with other people that get things done and say, oh, I'm not very disciplined, or I'm not very good at doing this sort of things, because when I try, I never get it done. Is this you? Today, I'll be sharing my thoughts on how to stop those habits. And these are based on things that I have done that have worked for me to stop procrastinating. Now, no one is perfect. Everyone has, at some point in their life, have been faced with the habit of procrastinate. And we still do it. I still do it. I still procrastinate. There are sometimes when I have very important goals or important tasks to complete, I just keep pushing them forward, and sadly, some of the consequences are not very good. But then today, do not feel bad and do not blame yourself, because it's you. Sometimes some people would blame themselves. Oh, I'm lazy, or I'm not very good. For those that are students, oh, I'm not clever. I'll be sharing with you some of those things that could possibly cause this sort of things, and how you can overcome the habit of procrastinating. But before I go ahead, this is a time where I say this. If this is the first time you're joining us, yeah, thanks for joining. This is the Bola Adeyeye Omishade Show, a community where we support people to be the best version of themselves. So you're welcome to our community. And yes, I am so excited that you're here. Now, do not forget to subscribe so that you don't miss our future episodes. And because, of course, we have one episode every week. And if you enjoy this episode as well, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. Okay, thank you. Thanks for being part of our community. And yes, to my returning viewers, thank you so much. I'm happy you're here again today. Thank you for joining me, and your consistent support. It means so much to me. So thank you. And hopefully you're going to stay till the end, because we're going to be talking about, yes, that habit of procrastinating, that habit of I'll do it later, that habit of I can't do this, I can't do that. Now, one thing I have realized is, in most cases, people tend to procrastinate because of the fear of the unknown. Sometimes you have goals or tasks that you have laid out that are actually so big, maybe to you, or it's something that it's outside your comfort zone, and then you're afraid. So it starts with fear. And of course, nobody wants to fail. We don't want to fail. I don't want to fail. I want to do things. I want to write an exam and pass, isn't it? I want to start up a business. And of course, I want to succeed in that business. Or I want to even tidy up my house or my home. And I want it to look good. But then we are always very scared. Is it going to come out nice? Am I going to do well? Oh, a lot of people know. And sometimes it comes from the fact that we always want to think of what other people will think, and then we tend to want to get validated by others. And then that piles up the whole thoughts that is going on in your head, and then you keep pushing it forward. Just for example, if you want to set up a business, and then you're wondering, oh, what would people feel about me starting this business, and it doesn't succeed? Some of them will laugh at me. Some of them will say you have wasted your money. Some of them, but then why are you thinking in that direction? You haven't even tried. You haven't even started. So why are you scared already? Why are you scared? You need to attempt things. It's better to try than not try. That's the word. It is better to try than not try. So the first thing is procrastination starts with fear of the unknown, fear that we're going to fail, and all that. The other thing is beliefs. A lot of people have different beliefs. A lot of people have different things that go on in their head. And I was opportune to use a theory. Sorry, I'm going to go a bit critical, and it's called the theory of planned behavior. Now, the theory of planned behavior says that our beliefs actually have an impact on our intention to do something. And actually, not just the intention, the likelihood of performing that action. So, for example, I always use this example. You have the intention, a very good intention, of going to the gym. And then you go ahead and you register at the gym, you pay for it, you do everything. And maybe the first day you're all excited about this very good goal of maybe dropping 20 stones in 2 weeks. And then you go ahead to the gym and then you register. But then the first day, the second day, you're there, and then it begins to drop down. So you had a good intention, you went ahead, but you have not actually performed that action. Now, what the theory of planned behavior says is that your beliefs can have impact on your intention. Now, if you have a belief that, for example, that if I keep going to this gym and I keep eating rice and yam and maybe the gym is, I'm just going to be wasting my time. You see, that alone is enough to make you laid back, to make you procrastinate and say, well, because I've eaten rice today, or because I've not eaten anything, I don't need to go to the gym. Then you stop going to the gym as you have planned to. Now, the other one again that the theory of planned behavior says is what other people around you feel, and that's called the subjective norms. The people around you, your loved ones, people that can actually influence your decision, what their thoughts towards that action is, can influence you actually, the likelihood of you performing that action. So if, for example, I want to go to the gym and my husband thinks that going to the gym is a waste of time, even if I start and have a good intention, and because my husband does not feel that going to the gym will help me maybe lost the number of kg the amount of kg I want to lose, then it start affecting, having impact on the likelihood of me actually going to the gym, and then procrastination starts coming in. So you need to think, when you start procrastinating, you need to think about the subjective norms, the people around you. Is there anything around? Is there anyone that are around you that can influence you procrastinating? So be very careful about that. You need to think about that, sorry. And then you also need to think about your own beliefs. What is my belief? Do I believe that I can achieve this goal? So all those things are those tips that you need to think about, that what are the things that can influence or that can stop, that can facilitate me procrastinating. For example, if you want to clean your house and maybe you keep procrastinating, I'll clean it today, you need to think about the things that would trigger you. Maybe, for example, oh, well, I'm the only one that lives in this house, or I'm the only one in the house at the moment, I'm not going to have any visitor, and that is enough to actually say that you procrastinate. You push the cleaning the house forward. But peradventure, somebody comes to visit you. What happens? But because you have that belief that nobody would come, then you tend to push cleaning your home, you tend to push it forward. So what am I trying to say is your belief can have impact on you procrastinating. Now, what people around you, what their opinion about that action is, can also influence you, the likelihood of you performing that action. Now, there are other things aside those subjective, now aside those people who can influence your decision. There are other the environment, and these are called controls, control factors. And maybe in this case, you have actually set goals that you do not even have the resources to fulfill those goals. For example, if you want to start a business and you have written this business plan and you have, and you don't even have, you've written this budget and you don't even have the plan, or you don't even have the money, you don't even know where the money is going to come from. So you've gone beyond what you can afford. Hence, you just keep procrastinating and you're not going to achieve that goal. So it could be maybe the location as well. For example, maybe you want to set up a business, and instead of setting up the business and maybe in Portsmouth, you go to you live in Portsmouth and then you set up a business in London. Tell me, you're going to start the business, and then maybe you go in the first week, the second week, you begin to get tired, exhausted, because, so maybe the location. So you need to look at those controls, those other factors that can influence you procrastinating. Set goals. Now I'm going to come to what you need to do in that direction, because of course I'm still talking about those things that can influence you procrastinating. So yes, I'll start with that. So the first thing you need to do is you need to set achievable goals. Set those goals that you can achieve. For example, I'll use the example of maybe that's the easiest one I can use, cleaning your home. You don't have to bring the whole house down in one day and say, oh, I'm going to bring everything in my cupboard down and mop them and dust them. I'm going to bring all the clothes in my wardrobe out. And no, just take it one step at a time. Now, those tiny little steps that you take adds up and it goes a long way. You tend to achieve your goal within no time, even if it is every day. At some point I know that I'm not a fan of going to the gym, or I'm not really passionate about saying I want to lose a lot of weight, but I needed to reduce some kg, if that's the word. And I know that I'm not not driven to do that. Instead, I started doing 5 minutes. I'm just going to, what I do is I just jog in my home, I put on the YouTube and do 10 minutes and that's it for the day, And you see those tiny little, I did them unconsciously, and then I played music. In fact, I loved dancing, and then you see me doing the dance and dancing seriously in the house, So those were achievable goals. I know that I like to dance. So instead of trying to register at the gym and going to the gym, I said, okay, today I want to dance. I get my wine, or, I might not even drink it, but I tend to pretend and I start dancing and you see me sweating, because I'm dancing. So what am I trying to say in essence? Set achievable goals. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Now, some people say willpower. You should use your willpower, say, I can do it. Yes, it works. You can use your willpower. But then I want you to, sometimes we look at maybe if I don't do of course, if you don't do some of those goals, or you don't achieve some of those goals, there might be consequences. And then you say maybe the consequences in the future. Now bring those consequences to the present, bring them forward. For example, if you don't lose weight, maybe you might have long-term health impact, or maybe in the future. Think about it, and now if I don't do this now, it will. And to be honest, I'm talking to myself as well. So I'm not just saying this to you. It applies to me as well. Bring them to the present and say that if I don't do this thing right now, then the impact, the consequences is now. So think about those consequences and bring them forward. You see, that's another way to go about it. And the other one I would also suggest is reward yourself. It's very good to reward yourself. Pat yourself on the back, or say, okay, of course I've used this or this what's it called? This method before. It's called the if and the thens. So you set that if I go to the gym today, I'll maybe eat rice, for example. Or if I go to the gym today, I would maybe buy a nice jewelry set for myself. So give yourself rewards against those set goals. Because when you reward yourself, it tends to encourage your attitude of not procrastinating. And trust me, the moment you do it consistently, you get used to that habit. You get used to the habit of not procrastinating and remembering that, oh, there is a reward for me. Or you try to think about that the consequences of that thing it's just here. Now, I'm not saying that it's easy, because we all face this, but to be honest, nobody wants to get anything done. Nobody, trust me. Anyone you see that has achieved anything has actually pushed themselves to do it, because of course I want to sit down at home and cross my leg and get paid. Yes, I don't want to do work. I don't want to achieve anything. And yes, I believe you too would want to do the same, but you have to pay the price. Nothing good comes easy, you know. But then those tiny little bits of steps that you take, achievable steps that you take, will help you and will stop you from procrastinating, because you know that in little time you will do it. I have one of my elder sisters. When she's cleaning, she's like, she does it in like 10 minutes, and she said, oh, I want to do it quickly and get it out of the way. But that's our own way of not procrastinating, because she feels that if she does it like in 10 minutes, she's done and it's over. So people have different ways. Try to identify what works for you. Now, because I have said this work for me, it does not mean that it will work for you, because like I mentioned, the kind of people around you might not be the same people that I have around me that would influence the likelihood of me performing that action or, procrastinating. And also the kind of people that can influence your intention or influence your belief are different. So try to look at what works for you, what kind of people you have around you, what are the factors that can influence your intention to perform a behavior and also stop you from procrastinating. Think about those things very clearly, and yes, like I said, willpower. You can achieve anything if you want it. If you set your goals clearly, think about, and setting your goals is thinking about your future. You're thinking about your future now. So if you set those goals, break them down into smaller steps, and I am sure that that habit of procrastinating will be reduced. I'm not saying that it will stop entirely in its entirety, but it can be reduced. You can stop procrastinating. And yes, you share your thoughts. If you're watching this, share how you have actually stopped procrastinating. Share with us so that others who are still have this habit of I'll do it later, I'll postponing what the important task that they need to, that would improve their life. They keep postponing it. Share what has worked for you and how you've been able to stop the habit or manage procrastinating. Thank you so much. If you have found this very useful, please do not hesitate to give it a thumbs up. Share it with anybody that needs to hear this. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this, if you have learned one or two things, please leave in the comment section what you have learned. And yeah, give it a thumbs up as well. And thank you so much for joining me today. I am happy that you have watched till the end, and I will see you in my next episode. This is Bola Adeyeye Omishade. Bye.